Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to this week's episode of the weekly HO Scale newsletter recaps for January 13th, 2025. We've got a lot to cover today, so we'll jump right into it. As always, do me a favor and subscribe if you're new, or if you find yourself coming back anyways. It's completely free and honestly helps me to just one day make a couple dollars, so I really appreciate it. Thank you in advance. Like the video if you enjoyed, and drop me a comment if you're excited for anything here, and if there's anything I missed, or if you just want to chat. Let's start off with a new manufacturer featured on the channel, that being InterMountain, as you can see here. This is the December update from InterMountain. We got a couple bits of information here. First, on HO scale, run of ES44ACs. Their original advance reservation or pre-order has been canceled, and you'll have to re-put in those orders either through your dealer or with InterMountain directly. We'll take a look at those paint schemes here, as well as run over these N-Scale SD40-2s that are currently ready to ship. As you can see, they were also at the Cocoa Beach event this past weekend as well. Didn't see any further updates from them, and they do also have a new Facebook page if you're interested as well. And here are some of these paint schemes for the ES44ACs, starting off with CSX. A note here, InterMountain only offers these as DCC models, either DCC or DCC with sound. You can see the same price in the top right there, $329 or $249 respectively. Got a couple different paint schemes here for CSX. That bottom one there is the Spirit of West Springfield. Then a couple different road names here. Got new PTC antenna arrays on the Union Pacific and BNSF models as well. And a couple different road numbers in each of these schemes. Got a city rail scheme as well. And my favorite here, the Florida East Coast. I wonder when the first manufacturer will do the updated Florida East Coast scheme with the Ferromex style branding. We'll see about that. And of course, we also have Canadian National here at the bottom as well. In the red are a list of road-specific features on those models as well. And the CP is our last paint scheme for these ES44ACs. We can see here in this detail shot a better listing of these model features, as well as a new drive they've come up with. So these should be improved models, and it does note that these have not started production yet. Get your pre-orders in so they can work on production around mid-year. InterMountain is a little bit slow usually with their delivery dates, so hopefully this is turning a new leaf for them, and we'll see these make their way to our layouts much sooner than we have seen other models from them. And then moving on, the other information, here's a list at that advanced reservation form. These pre-orders, advanced reservations, are due by the end of February, on February 28th. You can send them directly to InterMountain or go through your dealer. Here's just a quick look at the SD40-2s in N scale. These are shipping now. There's that Burlington Northern whiteface. Keep that in mind for just a couple minutes down the road here. And some other neat paint schemes as well offered in N scale. Again, not an N scale guy, but I'll show it if it comes up. And there's a look at that order form as well. Let's go ahead and jump on over now to ScaleTrains, who had some exciting announcements from this past weekend. All right, over in ScaleTrains, they are doing a New Year's sale. Very similar items that were on sale prior to Christmas in terms of deals. So here's some of the featured items here, all N scale. And a look here at some other models that include mostly HO. Again, very similar sales that we saw prior to Christmas. So if you missed out, take a look and see if any of these are still in stock and save a couple bucks. Once again, another reminder about the CSX Heritage ES44s. These are now in stock. The first 5 have delivered there. And as of last Friday, the pre-orders for a couple of these models here have expired. Those pre-order reservations, so more have now become available on their website. These include some of the CSX Pride and Service ES44s as well. And furthermore, the Norfolk Southern Heritage units here. I did do a review on those if you'd like to check that out as well. Got 4 of the 10 total schemes. The Pennsylvania is my most desired next step, but I don't think I can justify that cost right now. But eventually that's the next scheme I hope to pick up. Of course, I have the Southern already, very, very popular. Those are the 2 that seem to be in the highest demand. So take a look, see if that's still in stock, and try to pick that one up. Additionally, more BNSF 25th anniversary Gevos are now in stock. I have a review on these as well if you're interested. Very similar. Mine just don't have those painted wheels, but they still look pretty good. So if you're interested, check that out. I have 2 of those. Additionally, I also picked up a GP40. These are also having limited availability left here. I have a Milwaukee Road. Very nice model, very happy with it. You can take a look and see for yourself. A couple different paint schemes here. All of them are showing limited availability here, so jump on that sooner rather than later. And now on to some very special announcements. First up, in the Operator line in HO, a Trinity 60-foot plug door high cube boxcar. In their Operator line, very nice budget rolling stock. The quality's still up there. It's just missing a couple of the separately applied details like cut levers and train line hoses, but still very nice models here. There's a look at those paint schemes flashed by, as well as the different road names here offered. I think it's neat. The Union Pacific version has those high anti-vandalism reporting marks, so up near the top of the car, which is pretty neat that I haven't seen a manufacturer do recently or even before. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. They do have a discount if you buy in bulk. And these pre-orders, as well as a couple other models coming up, are due on Monday, February 10th. An estimated delivery is this summer. Here is the Rivet Counter version of these cars. These are more product shots, so you'll get a good idea of what these cars actually look like. You can see on these Rivet Counter models, they do have the full features, rotating bearing caps, full underbody detail, and train line hoses on the ends. Here's some history of these cars as well. Very cool offering from them. And a list of the road names and paint schemes here. Similar quantity buy pricing on these models. The difference is the discount takes into effect after the 12th model, while the Operator series it's after the 6th. Same pre-order deadline of February 10th. Moving on now to the locomotives. Remember how I said to keep in mind the Burlington Northern Whiteface? Well, we have some here. These are in their Rivet Counter line, new run of SD40-2s, and a lot of them have ditch lights that so many people have wanted. Try to give you a look here both at the models flashing by as well as the list of road names and paint schemes. Tons in this run, many different variations. You can see every single road number is on the screen here, and just take a look at some of the details that change between each of them, like plow configurations, horn locations, different warning label locations. So they really did a good job here demonstrating these models. So really hope these turn out well. I've heard good things about the first run. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to pick one up for this run. I think they all look great, just on the fence right now. But I know a lot of people are very excited for these. Give it just another second here to let the models complete their second cycle so we can catch all of them. And there we go. They were, of course, at the Prototype Rails meet where they made this announcement this weekend. That is now concluded. And that's all we have here for ScaleTrains. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bowser up next. All right, and we have a new product announcement from Bowser, the SW1001. This is offered both DC analog or DCC sound with Lock Sound 5. Prices there $240 and $340 respectively. You can place your order directly through Bowser or with your dealer, which I'd recommend. Pre-orders for these models that we'll take a look at are due at the end of March, on March 28th, and they're hoping for delivery in early 2026. There's a list of some of the standard features on this model on your screen at the top. Sorry, it's a little bit cut off, not missing too much there, but full LED lighting package. I just want to note it does say both a cap light and control stand gauges, so I wonder if those control stands are lighted. That'd be pretty neat. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at these paint schemes and road names. First up, the reading or reading lines here. We got an as-built, dark green, couple cab numbers in each. And then it breaks it up in terms of both a cab number as DC and then a cab number as sound. So there's 3 road numbers per road name. We got Conrail in a couple different schemes here, as well as Norfolk Southern, CSX, and the Long Island Railroad. That's a pretty neat one. And the Armco. Very neat paint scheme, pretty unique colors on that one. As well as the Chicago Short Line in the maroon and yellow. The Union Railroad. And the EJ&E in the dark green and silver. Then the Corinth and Counts, I believe. And then the Galveston Wharves. That's a neat scheme, little dock railroad there. As well as the Newburgh and South Shore. And finally, the bicentennial scheme of that Newburgh and South Shore. So cool offering here. They're also doing an undecorated model that's in the Reading spec. So nice to see here. We have a quick update next from Broadway Limited. All right, just a quick update from Broadway Limited here concerning the Kennefic business cars. Shown here is the version with the UP4014 Tor drumhead, but they have successfully matched the Armor Yellow Union Pacific scheme to the Walthers Proto passenger cars. So here are some shots of the model fully painted. They say they expect production to wrap up around January 20th, so coming up next week, and these should deliver by the end of February. I can't wait for this car. They were supposed to be originally delivered in December, so that delay is from the paint matching, and I think it looks pretty good from what I can see, so we'll wait until delivery and we'll test them out. That's all here from Broadway Limited. We'll move on now to Walthers. All right, moving on over to the Walthers E update. First up, talking about the 30-foot wood cabooses. This one in the Canadian National Railway is my favorite. We've already taken a look back at the announcements when they came out in December. These are scheduled for arrival just in the spring of 2025. There's no month stated yet, but these look pretty neat. Definitely take a look if you're interested in those. Lots of different paint schemes offered in that. Additionally, the Walthers mainline 40-foot 50-ton drop bottom gondolas. A couple different road numbers here and decent paint schemes offered on these models. Here's a model from Iconic Replicas featured. This is the Eagle Model 05 bus. Always a classic, nice to see. A couple paint schemes. Once again, you can buy them directly through Walthers or from Iconic Replicas themselves. And an N-scale car from Microtrains. This is the 89-foot tri-level enclosed auto rack. That wraps up the e-update pretty quick here. I want to move into another special announcement from Walthers. And here it is. Walthers is also doing mystery boxes. They have 3 different tiers, a $75, $150, and $250 mystery box. And all they promise and all the information you get is that they're worth more than twice the purchase price. I've only seen one unboxing so far, and that was of a Silverline model. It didn't contain any locomotives. It was mostly building kits, a couple automotives, and tractor trailers, and a couple pieces of rolling stock. So I'm not sure, have no information on what could be contained in these. I'm sure the gold box definitely contains a locomotive, but I can't say that for sure. So if you want to take the gamble, go ahead and check them out. You can get them on the Walthers website, and it's just a flat price of $250, $150, or $75. So test your luck here if you're looking to pick up a variety of products and you don't quite know what you'd like to pick up. This could be a good option, little surprise for you. And they do note that just a singular box contains what they call a golden ticket, which is a single item worth over $1,000. So if you'd like to take your luck with that as well, be my guest. Let me know if you picked that up. I'd be happy to know. But anyways, that's all we have for Walthers for this week. We'll move on now to Athearn. All right, over in the Athearn Dispatcher, a pre-order reminder for the Genesis F89 flat cars. There's only 4 paint schemes in this run. MSRP is $55. They look pretty good. Don't see anything blatantly wrong with them. So if you're in the market for some of these, definitely pick them up. We've covered them a little bit before, but here are those paint schemes moving by the screen here. They have the exact same model, also for pre-order in N scale as well. Now in the Genesis line. And another model we've looked at before, the Athearn 60-foot Pullman baggage cars. So they do have a couple different versions here. You can see different variations in the underbody are the most prominent there, and door styles. And what's cool about these, they do have a magnetic roof. Pretty neat to see. Nice little feature there. And a couple models now in stock. We have the Athearn Roundhouse 36-foot wood reefers. So for your steam era. And additionally, some PS5277 boxcars. There's those paint schemes going by. Just like the wood reefers, 3 road numbers per road offered on these. Moving on, a couple updates here that the Athearn team is working on. First up, the 53-foot utility reefer trailers. These are some samples that were announced back in June of 2023, and they're hoping for delivery in mid-March. Just waiting for some sign-offs, and those should be heading your way. Another model here, the GP15s in the Genesis line. Saw some interesting comments here because this was also posted to Instagram, noting that the Conrail locomotive in the center there has a ditch light out. So maybe they were blowing the horn while taking the picture for some reason, but given the benefit of the doubt that your model should ship with 2 functional ditch lights as well as class lights and lit number boards, nice to see on those as well, and your standard more Genesis 2.0 features as well. So these should be pretty good if you're waiting for those. Ship date is currently mid-April or so. They're also offering up a new survey here, just how you find news. Hoping I'm one of your sources here, that'd be pretty neat. If you're interested, you could check that out from their website, fill out that survey. They're also going to be at Amherst at the end of the month on the 25th and 26th. So definitely cover the announcements that come from the show afterwards. Not sure yet if Athearn will be announcing things, but usually this is the big time for new product announcements as well. But that's all here we have for Athearn. Got a couple updates from Rapido next. All right, and next we've just got a couple updates here from Rapido in terms of models that have shipped or arriving soon. First up, the freshly repainted BNC30-7s. These were sent back to the factory to fix a printing error on the front step. So that has now been corrected, and those should be on their way to their dealers now. Next up, a quick shout out to Home Shops, which is doing their own custom run of the C30-7s in the Virginian and Ohio paint scheme. Looks really sharp, looks like a good paint scheme. Go ahead and check them out at Home Shops' website. You can take a look and order them directly from them. And final update here from Rapido, the second run of the Turbo Train has now arrived at their HQ and is shipping out. These have an updated drive, so they should work a whole lot better and last even longer. So very excited for these as well. If you have one of those on order, that should be coming soon. That's all for Rapido. I'm going to take a quick look at a new manufacturer, Moloco, to round us out for today. All right, welcome over to our final newsletter for today, that being Moloco. Hope I'm saying it right. It might be Moloco. Please correct me if you know. A little smaller manufacturer, more custom items, and I figured I'd feature it just because I hadn't seen it before and I thought it was pretty neat. So they do have some third run previews of some ACF boxcars. There's a nice little note here at the top as well. And let's take a look at some of these paint schemes here on these models. They have both non-waffle and waffle versions. I love the Santa Fe shock control scheme, one of my favorites. But I might end up picking up a couple of these. Hadn't heard of them before, but looks like the quality's pretty good. So I might give them a shot and see how they look. Thought you might be interested in them as well. Some neat schemes if you're interested in this kind of rolling stock. They also have some undecorated kits as well. And here's a couple shots of the waffle cars. The Frisco really pops. And they do offer parts, kind of how InterMountain does with trucks and wheel sets here. I know InterMountain has been considered the top of the line for the wheel sets. And here's another option in case you'd like to try out some of these as well, or if these truck designs look pretty good to you. They do not have rotating bearing caps, it appears, but that should be okay. There's a draft gearbox as well at the bottom. Well, some different roofs, and then you could just buy the trucks themselves or the wheel sets. Then some other detail parts for their models as well. Here's some up-close shots that you can see. Good rivet detail and ribbing on the doors as well. And that's all we have. Thanks for tuning in today. I swear these videos keep getting longer and longer as there's more exciting things that I discovered that I'd like to bring up. Lots of new things announced this week. Not as many product updates in terms of manufacturing status, but still some very cool things to look at. If you did make it this far, consider subscribing. Really appreciate it, so thank you. Like the video if you enjoyed. Drop me a comment here if you're excited about any of these announcements or new products. And if there's anything else you just want to chat about, love going through those. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.